During a podcast appearance on December 8th, 2025, Owens repeated the false claims that Jews are killing Christian children as part of religious rituals. Like, look at this. Like that, how can you have my assessment on Israel's death and destruction campaign in the same fucking breath as this shit? Like, this is literally, this is just the blood libel. Like, this is unironically the blood libel. What the fuck? There is no comparison. You have to be insane to look at this and look at my statements and be like, look, Hamas is 1,000 times better than Israel. It's objectively a popular sentiment that is expressed by many people if they think a little bit further on this. But like comparing geopolitical assessments to literal medieval blood libel, like what the fuck are we doing? There's supposed to be a war powers resolution that Josh Gottheimer was advancing, okay? It's not on the House schedule for today because Josh Gottheimer is advancing a different resolution instead of his Iran war powers resolution, which is already 2 months too late. Okay? It's already 2 months too late. What is Josh Gottheimer, Democratic senator, or a Democrat from New Jersey? Sorry. What is he doing? What is he doing instead? A bipartisan resolution from House Rep Lawler, Mike Lawler from New York, okay, whose opposition I'm boosting, Effie, as you guys know, and Josh Gottheimer from New Jersey are condemning me and Candace Owens for anti-Semitic rhetoric and conspiracy theories, and also calls on social media companies to take appropriate steps to enforce their policies against hate speech and prevent the spread of anti-Semitic content. Okay? Just understand. It has just been revealed that the U.S. has already spent at least $25 billion on a war for Israel that began by killing 100-plus schoolgirls, and Congress is now voting on condemning Hasan Piker. That is unbelievable, okay? This is sincerely Democrats openly saying, hey, guess what? We are insincere. We are not serious. We are not invested in making the necessary changes in this country. We are going to advance unbelievable fucking idiotic distractions. Okay? Candace Owens is a malignant force, a cancerous force in American politics. This is true. Candace Owens is unbelievably anti-Semitic. Even this resolution condemning Candace Owens is utterly fucking irrelevant right now. What the fuck are you doing? I'm not even saying this because I agree with Candace Owens in any way, shape, or form. I do not. You guys know this already. I mean, I joke about being a clandestine operator because she's thrown a nuclear bomb in the discourse cycle around the Charlie Kirk assassination when the Republicans were clearly trying to whip up enough mania against the left, and she came in and said, no, it was Israel, and then a lot of people happened to believe her. So, regardless of my disagreements, even on that front with Candace Owens, I jokingly say I'm a clandestine operator, right? Even though she's fucking insane. But the fact that they are even writing a resolution where they put me alongside Candace Owens to say that we're both anti-Semitic and someone has to do something about it, social media companies have to do something about it, is so disingenuous, so insincere. Okay? Hakeem Jeffries to introduce amendment to remove Candace Owens from the Hasan Piker resolution. Jesus Christ. You're joking, but that would make it a reliable yes vote. That would be bipartisan. Everyone would vote for that, just so you understand. I've talked to many people behind the scenes, okay, congresspersons about when I saw this. I talked to my friends in the Hill, and universally, their assessment was obviously that this is ridiculous, right? And it's being done for donors. It's being done to fundraise. It's being done because I have some high-profile enemies, okay, that are aggressively pursuing this deplatforming initiative, and they're willing to pay for it, right? However, the other side of the story that's even more devastating about the way that the Democrats operate, okay, is the reality that the only way that this doesn't pass is not because the Democrats would protect me. Of course they wouldn't. And these are Democratic congresspersons who recognize that too. But luckily, Candace Owens is a part of the bill, and Republicans might shy away from attacking Candace Owens. Think about that. The actual anti-Semite in this resolution is the saving grace that might actually destroy the resolution's passage. This is the ultimate goal here. And here is the reality, by the way. People may look at this and think, man, this is an odd thing to prioritize while our country falls apart. But here's what's important to understand. Piker doesn't have a boss. And absent that, the smear campaign must escalate until he's not invited back by the New York Times or the Pod Saves guys. That's precisely what it is. Feels like they're noticing how effective his stumping for Abdul al-Sayed is, and now they're desperate for anything to disparage any Israel critic politicians. Yes, that is precisely what's going on. And if the Democrats don't realize the genuine threat that this constitutes for themselves down the line, if they fall into this bipartisanship trap and they go, yeah, you know what, we have some really violent people on our side as well. We got to deal with them. We got to do away with them. Then they're basically selling themselves out. They're selling their base out once again. They're fucking endlessly manipulatable. Okay, they're endlessly malleable. They're fucking stupid. Yes, there is a bipartisan bill in Congress right now that demands the condemnation of HasanAbi Piker, okay? Bipartisan laser light focus on material improvements to the lives of the American people exactly as they promise every 2 years. Ignore the fact that these two influencers they want to formally denounce are Israel critics, and that's totally coincidental as always. I love that this guy looked at this situation between me and Candace Owens and said, Hasan Piker is a little more than a critic of Israel. Between me and Candace Owens, I'm the one that's a bigger danger? What the fuck is happening? Candace Owens is run around with a copy of the Talmudic Jew in front of hundreds of thousands of people being like, this is how Jews are. They're contract lords. And this fucking asshole looks at that situation and goes, you know who's actually the real danger here? Hasan fucking Piker. You cannot provide material support. Congress has no business formally denouncing American citizens for their views. They should shut the fuck up and get to work. It's true. This is where we're at in the United States of America. You could spend an entire fucking career combating anti-Semitism on the internet, and as long as you're an avowed anti-Zionist, it doesn't fucking matter, okay? They will literally say, you're a bigger threat. Between me and Candace Owens, I'm the fucking more serious threat to a more serious corrosive influence on discourse. You have to be out of your fucking mind to come up with that. Oh, of course, he fucking quotes the persistence of Benny John. Of course, right-wing dipshit. Oh. It's unbelievable, dude. It is so obvious what's going on, okay? It is so fucking deliberate. It is so obvious what's going on. Don't criticize Israel. If you criticize Israel, we'll make your life a living hell. We'll take away your sponsorships. Oh, you don't have any sponsorships? We'll take away your ads. Oh, you don't run any fucking ads? Well, we'll take away your platform. We'll do everything in our power. We'll hope that someone might get the right lesson. We'll activate a schizophrenic psycho to come and assassinate you. Okay? That's what we'll do, because God forbid you have a large enough audience and you're an avowed anti-Zionist. You combat anti-Semitism and you're also an anti-Zionist. You're a threat. That's what this is. And what these people don't understand is that I'm not alone. Okay? I'm not alone. That the overwhelming majority of American society feel this way. So you might deplatform me, you might fucking get me killed, but at the end of the day, this problem is not going to go away for you. Okay? It's not going away. People still feel this way. People know the truth. So you have to address it at some point. Okay? That's it. It's unfucking believable. It's not, luckily for now, reasonable people obviously are on my side and recognize how insincere and how ridiculous this shit is. But if your goal is to punish critics of Israel, prominent critics of Israel, it's not going to fucking work. Okay? You deplatform me, someone else will take my stead. You kill me, someone else, and 10 more people will prop up with the same exact opinions. Okay? That's it. And guess what? There's the other side of it. You don't know what kind of opinions those people will have. You know what my opinions are. Okay? You know what my goals are. you know what my assessment on the situation is. And in an environment where there is a shit ton of prominent critics of Israel who, at best, are agnostic on the issue of anti-Semitism, and at worst, absolutely utilizing the conversation around Israel to foment anti-Semitism, to target someone like myself who actively does combat anti-Semitism, is unbelievably fucking stupid. And it's exceptional because it's not true. Anyway, let's look at this fucking dumbass resolution. In the House of Representatives, Gottheimer and Lawler are doing this bipartisan bill. Lawler is a Republican from New York. I've obviously promoted Lawler's opposition, Effie. I've had her on the broadcast. Mike Lawler is in a contested seat and is most likely going to lose that seat. Okay? He's terrified of that, so he's trying to, farm as many donations as he possibly can. The resolution is condemning. Hold on. Open image in new tab. Is condemning anti-Semitic, hate-filled rhetoric and content disseminated by prominent online personalities and urging social media platforms and public leaders to denounce and address such conduct. Okay? This is the resolution. Condemning anti-Semitic, hate-filled rhetoric and content disseminated by prominent online personalities, urging social media platforms and public leaders to denounce. You know what? Let's fucking look at it in this format is better. You're right. Public leaders to denounce and address such conduct. Whereas the rise of digital media platforms has enabled individuals with large audiences to disseminate disinformation, commentary, and political viewpoints to millions of viewers worldwide. Whereas such influence carries a heightened responsibility to avoid rhetoric that promotes hatred, violence, and discrimination against any group, including Jewish individuals and communities. Whereas anti-Semitism has surged in the United States and globally in recent years, fueled in part by online disinformation, conspiracy theories, and extremist rhetoric. Once again, these guys don't remember, from their perspective, any kind of anti-Israel sentiment is anti-Semitism, right? So what they're saying is, the reason why people don't fuck with Israel anymore is because of content creators. They're stupid. They don't understand that it's not because of just content creators, okay? It's because people saw what Israel was doing. And then they dug deep and learned what Israel had been doing leading up to October 7th. They saw what Israel was doing after October 7th, and they could not believe the violence. And then they learned about what Israel had done before October 7th. That is the reason why. And they know what Israel is doing right now. That is the reason why people don't fuck with Israel, okay? Whereas anti-Semitic incidents have significantly increased, including a 344% increase over the past 5 years and an 893% increase over the past 10 years. Again, ADL's numbers, obviously. This, unfortunately, also factors in, any kind of incident revolving, even Jewish Voice for Peace doing a peaceful anti-Zionist protest in the vicinity of someone who's pro-Israel. That's how fucking stupid these numbers are. They're unbelievably misleading. In any case, anti-Semitism has increased. It's just these numbers are unfortunately ADL numbers, so we don't know what the exact numbers are. Okay? An online platform identifies a major vector for the spread of such hatred, whereas Hasan Piker, a prominent online streamer, has often used anti-Semitic rhetoric, including expressing support for Hamas, a designated foreign terrorist organization. Whereas in August 2019, during a Twitch live stream, Hasan Piker stated America deserved 9/11, whereas Hasan Piker referred to Orthodox Jews as inbred, whereas Hasan Piker downplays sexual violence committed by Hamas, a designated foreign terrorist organization against innocent civilians on October 7th, stating it doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me. Once again, using that out of the ironic part of that is that they're using me saying the sexual violence happening or not doesn't justify genocide, by the way, which is a perfectly normal fucking position, okay? That's not how this works. Whereas Hasan Piker has expressed support for Hamas on multiple occasions, including April 14th, 2026, stating Hamas over Israel every single time and doubling down on claims in multiple media appearances that Hamas is 1,000 times better than Israel. Like, you can argue with me every day on whether you agree with this or not. Okay? But what you can't do is fucking complain that this is anti-Semitic and therefore should be deplatformed. You can't, it's un-American, okay? We don't live in fucking Israel, all right? We don't live in Israel. You can't do this. All right. It is fundamentally against the principle of the First Amendment. This is precisely what the First Amendment is there to protect. Okay. Oh, I don't agree with this person's assessment, and therefore he should shut the fuck up. Here's a congressional mandate to get this guy to shut the fuck up. Here's a bipartisan resolution to demand the deplatforming of one content creator that Israel doesn't fucking like. That is unbelievable. There's a Fox article that proves they had people at the event you missed yesterday. Wait, what? You're reading the Wild Fox News article? Anyway, so as you noticed, with the exception of the refers to Orthodox Jews as inbred, right? This is the only one that they can like massage. You know the context behind this. It doesn't fucking matter. I call every racist neo-Nazi group inbred because ethnic, religious, or any kind of like nationalist supremacist movement obviously requires inbreeding. That's how you get genetic purity, right? That's why I fucking say, oh, these guys are inbred across the board for Hicks, Republicans, reactionaries of all different sorts, neo-Nazis and the like. Okay. So that's the reason why I use this substitute term as a pejorative instead of something else. It doesn't fucking matter. Who cares? That's the only one that they can at least like manipulate around to imply some kind of like borderline anti-Semitic statement. I even recognize that, but it doesn't fucking matter ultimately, right? Now, if you noticed, every single other thing is foreign policy related. Every single other thing is Israel related. Okay, even the ultra-Orthodox joke that I made about fucking settlers, like inbred settlers, is Israel related, but it doesn't matter, right? Now let's look at Candace Owens. Whereas Candace Owens has employed rhetoric that has included conspiracy theories accusing Israel of controlling the United States government, promoting false claims that Jews are taught by ancient religious texts to hate non-Jews, and casting doubt on the truth of the stories of Holocaust survivors. Whereas on February 1st, 2026, Candace Owens posted on X an anti-Semitic claim that the United States is controlled by satanic pedophiles who work for Israel. Okay, like there's plenty you can hit Candace Owens on. You don't have to do the highlights where, some of them are at least like in the margins where the majority might agree with her, there are obviously, this is unbelievably anti-Semitic, especially this, right? But like the satanic pedophiles who work for Israel is again, it's an anti-Semitic canard, but you could very easily say this is the Epstein class. You know what I mean? So sorry. Sucks to suck, but probably not good to put in there regardless. Whereas during a podcast appearance on December 8th, 2025, Owens repeated the false claims that Jews are killing Christian children as part of religious rituals. Like, look at this. Like that, how can you have my assessment on Israel's death and destruction campaign in the same fucking breath as this shit? Like this is literally, this is just the blood libel. Like this is unironically the blood libel. What the fuck? There's no comparison. You have to be insane to look at this and look at my statements and be like, look, Hamas is 1,000 times better than Israel. It's objectively a popular sentiment that is expressed by many people if they think a little bit further on this. But like comparing geopolitical assessments to literal medieval blood libel, like what the fuck are we doing? This is what I fucking... Yeah, Jews are killing Christian children as a part of religious rituals that Jewish texts and traditions promote. The sexual assault of children, which is anti-Semitic trope constituting blood libel. Whereas in July 2024, Candace Owens called for the horrific medical experiments committed by Joseph Mengele on Jews during the Holocaust bizarre propaganda, continuing that some of the stories, by the way, sound completely absurd, downplaying and rejecting the veracity of those crimes. Whereas on February 21st, 2025, Candace Owens hosted E. Michael Jones, who claimed on her platform that Hollywood created the Holocaust narrative, whereas the amplification of anti-Semitic narratives online can contribute to real-world harm, including harassment, intimidation, and violence against Jewish individuals, institutions, and communities, and whereas public officials, leaders, and technology companies have a responsibility to confront and condemn anti-Semitism in all of its forms, including when it appears in online discourse and influencer-driven media. Now, therefore, be it resolved That is the sense of the House of Representatives that anti-Semitic rhetoric, conspiracy theories disseminated by influential online personalities, including Hasan and Candace Owens, are dangerous and contribute to a climate of hatred and intolerance. Like, they literally fucking slammed actual, unvarnished, anti-Semitic Protocols of Elder Zion agitprop that Candace Owens is disseminating on a fucking daily basis on her lunatic broadcast. To Hasan's assessment is that Israel has killed far more people than Hamas has, and therefore is a far worse influence, a far more destabilizing influence in the fucking region and around the globe than Hamas ever could be. That is objective truth. You might disagree with it, and we can have a conversation on those boundaries all day, every day. I can be a very reasonable person, okay? But because they don't want to have that fucking conversation, they just turn around and say, oh, dude, this is crazy. I can't believe you're saying these things. These are unacceptable. It's a terrorist organization. It's a terrorist organization. A Democrat, mind you. This is a Democrat doing this. The same Democrat that is supposed to be, the same fucking Democrat that is supposed to be advancing the war powers resolution that is already 2 months late on Iran. And instead of that, this is the bill that they advanced this morning. Think about that. What a joke of a fucking country we're in, man. Jesus Christ. Individuals with online platforms have a responsibility to refrain from promoting or amplifying anti-Semitic narratives. Social media and streaming platforms should take appropriate steps to enforce their policies against hate speech and prevent the spread of anti-Semitic content. Public officials and community leaders should unequivocally condemn anti-Semitism, including when it's propagated by high-profile media figures and influencers. Efforts to downplay or excuse anti-Semitic rhetoric under the guise of political commentary should be rejected. And the United States reaffirms its commitment to combating anti-Semitism and ensuring the safety and dignity of Jewish individuals and communities, both online and offline. Yeah, do one on Islamophobia next. Do one on Islamophobia. Think about the amount of fucking Islamophobic attacks that I receive on a daily fucking basis, that Abdul Al-Sayed receives, that Zohran Mamdani receives. Are we going to do a bill on that? No, of course not, because Islamophobia is trafficked by these very same people. Representative Josh Gottheimer, famously after October 7, blamed Islam, okay? Straight up within earshot of Muslim congressional representatives. A racist monster, a ginormous piece of shit. Fuck you. Anyway, this is them waving the white flag, folks. That's what this is, okay? Here is the silver lining, if you want to know what the silver lining in this madness actually is. Josh Gottheimer knows that the information environment is uncontrollable, okay? So they're testing out the boundaries of how much disciplining they can do with congressional resolutions like this, okay? That's it. They're trying to see if social media companies will bite on this nonsense. They know that they can't win this conversation back, but the very least they can do is, you know, buy and sell TikTok with the hopes that people stop saying mean things about Netanyahu and Israel, with the hopes that they can enforce this action upon Amazon and Twitch so that other content creators will think twice. Well, fear not. Most content creators are fucking cowards anyway, okay? Don't worry. They're already worried about their fucking corporate sponsors, okay? Don't worry about that, King. I guess that's the real problem. It's because I don't have any fucking corporate sponsors. The real problem is I'm not beholden to any corporate interest. I'm not controllable. Okay? You have a platform of this magnitude, of this size, and it's not controllable by the regular groups that have some semblance of influence over most people, because most people want to make fucking money. Okay, when they see someone who goes, no, I don't want that. I just want to say the truth. I don't give a shit. I'm backed by my fucking fans. They lose their minds. They don't know how to deal with it. They're like, whoa, 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 this is dangerous. That's what it is. Fox News, that has not spent a fraction of the time or energy focusing on the Epstein files, is doing this. Help. The Supreme Court just gutted the Voting Rights Act, and the president is threatening innocent countries with mass murder. Diet MAGA APAC Dems doing this shit. Yes, exactly. One House colleague of Lawler and Representative Josh Geimer, the gluttonous Israel First monster, Representative Fine has said far worse than Hasan Piker, and censoring Fine is actually a part of their job. But this is all about Israel, so Randy Fine is okay. Is this truly what Congress needs to spend its time doing? Yes, actually, Democrats need to loudly condemn Piker and his bullshit. Again, this person is supposed to be a fucking Democrat, okay? But probably not. They're more predisposed with condemning me rather than Candace Owens. I'm not going to weigh in on the substance, but the idea that America's legislature needs to concern itself condemning extremism at a time when the nation's at war and Congress is dysfunctional strikes me as wrong. I think they can walk and chew gum, but I hear their point. It's just like, I wish people would just stop being fucking pussies about it too, to a certain degree. You know, enough is enough. You can just say the truth, okay? I know it comes across as difficult to defend because there is a barrage of misinformation out there. And that is, in some ways, the point, right? The point is make someone indefensible in the eyes of many so that you can still behave as a partner, right? But you have to be a little bit more quiet about it, right? Just know we have reached a new level here, okay? We've reached a new level here of madness, unlike anything before. Hasan Piker no-shows pro-communist event over alleged safety fears while mocking Trump assassination attempt. Would-be fellow panelist Mohsen Mahdawi told the crowd Hasan Piker faced attacks and targeting after the assassination attempt on Trump. Yeah. I'm not the president, you fucking idiot. We don't get to have Secret Service in the events that I go to. Anyway, I'm not even going to fucking dignify that article and read. Why don't they get you to speak on Congress on this? Your name's on the bill. You should be involved. Doesn't work that way. Just like it's the same principle as to why, none of these media outlets are going to invite me to speak on the media outlets where they would rather speak over clips that they have chosen. Okay, that's not how this shit works. In this article, they pretty much confirmed they have reporters that watch the streams now. He spent much of the 6 hours reading aloud articles and expos about himself. In this article, they pretty much confirmed they have reporters that watch the stream now. Great. Great. Keep at it. Go ahead. Keep watching. Maybe your fucking mind will change, you know? This is where we're at, by the way. Here it is. Fox News covered Hasan Piker for 25 days straight. Hello, welcome to the broadcast, Fox News reporters that are in here.
Hasan Piker.
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 Hasan Piker. Hasan Piker.
Hasan Piker.
Hasan Piker.
Hasan Piker.
Hasan Piker.
Hasan Piker.
Hasan Piker.
Hasan Piker. Hasan Piker.
Hasan Piker.
Hasan Piker. Hasan Piker.
Hasan Piker.
Hasan Piker.
Hasan Piker. Hasan Piker. Hasan Piker. Hasan Piker. Hasan Piker. Hasan Piker. Hasan Piker. Hasan Piker. Hasan Piker. Hasan Piker. Hasan Piker. Hasan Piker. Hasan Piker. Hasan Piker.
Yeah, Fox News, subscribe to the broadcast, okay? Subscribe to the broadcast, bitch. The fuck are we doing? Yeah, fuck. I don't even know what else to fucking say. There was one piece on this with Mallory McMorrow. We're going to talk about Mallory McMorrow as well. Okay? Look. It's not just Fox News, of course. Yeah. Jake Tapper smears Hasan to a level worse than Fox News. Yeah, of course. Of course he did. This was as bad, if not worse, than what we've seen on Fox News. The Scott clip cuts all the context to show he was talking to Mike Johnson, highlighting his hypocrisy, not a call to violence, and cuts out more context of the October 7 rapes don't justify genocide clip than Fox News does. Then takes Hasan's position that Hamas is better than Israel by any metric you want to measure them by, and spins that into seemingly in support of Hamas terrorist attacks on October 7th. Despicable, he's worse than right-wingers. Him and Dana Bash are the two of the worst cretins in liberal media. Yeah, and everyone knows that, by the way. That's the other thing. Like, people in their own orbit know this as well. They just look silly. They look insincere. They look unserious. That's the problem.
Need to contend with this hypocrisy and this double standard. A message for our friends on the left now. You have to face some ugly realities about the acceptance of violence among too many people in your ranks. Here
Yeah. He's, our friends amongst the left. Bitch, you're not in the left, okay? I can't believe that you are. I mean, I can believe it. Let's be real. This is like classic Jake Tapper. Oh, wow. Taking advantage of a Republican wave of censorship demands to go, hey, this one too, please. Because that's all this is. This is from yesterday's Jake Tapper piece, where he's talking about how unbelievable it is that the administration is coming after Jimmy Kimmel for jokes. So all he's doing here is basically saying, hey, Trump, arrest Hasan Piker, not Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel is fine. Hasan Piker is not fine. That's literally what this piece is. Okay?
Here is a left-wing streamer on the Twitch platform with whom Democrats, this is a gentleman with whom Democrats...
He's trying to Linda Sarsour you? Yeah, it doesn't work, though, because Linda Sarsour was publicly smeared to this degree, and not to this degree. No one else, I'll be honest, I talked to Linda. I love Linda. I'm fairly certain that this level of public smearing has not happened in a very long time. There is no world where, like, Fox News in unison with two of the top, liberal commentators is going to spend months. There's no single issue that reaches this level of salience in American media nowadays. This is an ongoing incident that's been going on for fucking 2 months. Nonstop. I can't believe it. It's unprecedented in many ways. Okay? But here's the thing. When Linda Sarsour was being attacked, okay, when she was being smeared, it was a different media environment. She didn't have a platform as loud as I do, right? She didn't have a platform that was competitive with CNN. That's number one. Number two, it was in an environment, it was at a time when the broad majority's attitude on Israel-related sentiment was, oh, you say that this person is anti-Semitic? Well, okay, I'm inclined to believe you. I don't really know too much about Israel, so I'll take your word for it. I'll stay away from this person. Nowadays, after 3 years of unlimited child murder in the hands of Israel, when someone who's a prominent critic of Israel is called an anti-Semite, most people go, you say that about everybody, bro. Shut the fuck up. You say that about Miss Rachel, right?
have campaigned and sat for interviews with and platformed and much more. This guy.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott. Okay?
When you say Hamas is 1,000 times better, do you actually mean that? Or is that a rhetorical move or like a solidarity signal? Like what?
I mean, it's all of the above. I do mean it. I think it's a rhetorical move because it frustrates a lot of people. I've also said I'm a harm reduction voter. I'm a lesser evil voter, and therefore I would vote for Hamas over Israel every single time. It doesn't matter if rapes happen on October 7th. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much. The Palestinian resistance is not perfect.
He also said that the United States deserved 9/11. He apologized for that, and he apologized for what he said about Rick Scott after he was suspended from Twitch. But his comments made seemingly in support of Hamas's terrorist attacks on October 7th, in which innocent American civilians were killed. No apology there. We can't pretend that the corrosive impact of such sentiments being normalized isn't happening. It's
gangbanging in media land. Yeah. Yeah, he said seemingly. I like that he added seemingly in there to be like seemingly in support. All right. Mallory McMorrow had another take, apparently, and there's two pieces I want to get into with Mallory McMorrow. Apparently, Mallory McMorrow says Hasan the Hun gets dangerously close to anti-Semitism, claiming he is uninformed, and a lot of what he said is really hurtful to her family. No actual quotes and evidence from Hasan was provided in this claim. Asked whether she believes Piker to be anti-Semitic, McMorrow said no, but added that it almost doesn't matter. This is, of course, to Jewish Insider, another interview that she conducted with Jewish Insider. Okay, Jewish Insider is a right-wing dish rag. It is basically the fake newspaper version of an ADL presser, an AIPAC presser. Okay, this is op behavior. You can't, on the one hand, be like, "Oh, I disavow AIPAC," and then simultaneously go to fucking Jewish Insider and give them quotes like this. Anyway, I like that she's also backed away from saying I am the equivalent of Nick Fuentes to, I don't think he's in, I don't think Hasan is anti-Semitic, so that's cool. At least she's like somewhat reasonable enough to read the fucking room, right? I don't think he is. I think he gets dangerously close, she said. I think there's justifiable anger at the ongoing war. I think a lot of what he says is uninformed and hurtful. I can't purport to speak for what he believes in his heart, but I can tell you, for my family, a lot of what he says is really hurtful. Yeah, so we can't call him anti-Semitic, but she can continue to throw out his word with his name in the same sentence. Meanwhile, he's a significant voice against anti-Semitism. He's just parroting what other people telling her.
Anti-Semitism is a canary in the coal mine of fascism. It's one of the oldest bigotries that has caused those of the Jewish faith a tremendous amount of pain.
You know what's really funny about this, by the way? Like, they'll be like, well, don't you think Nick Fuentes opposes whenever someone calls him an anti-Semite? First of all, no, he doesn't, right? But secondly, when has Nick Fuentes or Candace Owens or Richard Spencer took the time out to combat anti-Semitism extensively? These people who are, when has Tucker Carlson done that? Right? Tucker Carlson is a media-trained demon, right? So he knows what not to say. He's never going to come out and be like, yep, the Jews are doing this, the Jews are doing that. He'll always say, no, I love the Jews. What are you talking about? Right? But when has Tucker Carlson ever come out and fucking actively spoken out against anti-Semitism? Try to educate people on the dangers of growing anti-Semitism in the country. When? They haven't. That's why this comparison is fucking insane. Yeah, Hasan is as bad as Nick Fuentes. Okay, never mind. Actually, Hasan isn't an anti-Semite, but he gets dangerously close. Okay, so she tried to portray Hasan on the same level as Fuentes to harm Dr. Abdul El-Sayed's campaign, and when that didn't work, she backtracked. No real convictions. Exactly. But Rashida Tlaib asked to apologize to Trump because of Hasan Piker. Jesus Christ. Wow. Rashida Tlaib has called President Trump a fascist. This happened after I asked her to apologize to Trump for associating with Hasan Piker, who was called for Trump's death. Remember this video in November. I've never called for Trump's death, you fucking idiot. When has this happened? First of all, you can't call for the death of the president, okay? Well, you can if you're a Republican and the president is black or the president's a Democrat. Then you can do whatever the fuck you want, obviously, because free speech only goes one way. We already know that, right? But it is literally illegal, okay? That is unbelievably illegal. So, insane thing to claim that I've done, because I would be most likely in prison, okay? Anyway, I suspect Piker may be endorsing the rough moral math that your badness is directly proportional to the number of children you murder. Anyway. Yeah. Okay, let's get to the other McMorrow story with Abdul El-Sayed, though. While she was busy doing that, K-File, CNN, combed through her old tweets that she deleted. Turns out McMorrow has a very McMorrow-style controversy. And what I mean by that is it's unbelievably fucking boring. It'll still hurt her chances in the state of Michigan, which she's, trying to become the next senator of, obviously. But it is very funny because it's like it's such a, like, it's almost a nothing burger in comparison to like what it could be. There's nothing really all that bad in here. McMorrow deleted a bunch of old tweets as a bi-coastal elitist. Make me miss California in deleted tweets. Senate candidate Mallory McMorrow disparaged middle America. Okay. As Democrats brace for a bruising primary in Michigan's U.S. Senate race, Mallory McMorrow, one of the party's top contenders, has quietly deleted thousands of old tweets, including posts in which she took jabs at the rural Midwest, lamented ever leaving California, and said she continued to vote there after she said she moved permanently to Michigan. McMorrow, a Michigan state lawmaker and rising star in the Democratic Party, wrote in her 2025 autobiography that she relocated permanently to Michigan in 2014. Yet a CNN K-File review of the Internet Archive's Wayback Machine reveals a series of now deleted social media posts of McMorrow describing herself as a California resident as late as July 2016. McMorrow repeatedly referenced voting in California's June 2016 Democratic primary and urged voters to register for it. In other now deleted posts, McMorrow also described herself in July 2016 as a constituent of California Democratic Rep. Ted Lieu and referenced voting in person in November 2014 in the Los Angeles area where she was a resident at the time. Public records show she registered to vote in Michigan in August 2016. On top of questions about McMorrow's voting record, the deleted tweets offer a window into her political evolution. Among the roughly 6,000 deleted posts are those that reflect a range of progressive views, from contemplating a future without cars to supporting the Black Lives Matter movement to comparing President Donald Trump and his supporters to Nazis. Again, some of these are totally valid and great. Okay, but of course, it's totally ridiculous if she deleted those posts because she wants to be an amoral actor. Okay? She wants to be an amoral actor. She is an empty suit. She is a vehicle for corporate-sponsored, lobbying-backed bills. Okay? That's it. She might have had more progressive views at some point, but now none of that matters, right? McMorrow also deleted comments about the U.S. coast breaking off from Middle America following the 2016 election of Trump. I had a dream that the U.S. amicably broke off into the ring. And Middle America, she wrote in December 2016. Again, there's nothing bad about this. Oh, and the ring nominated Obama as prime minister, and everyone was given $1,000 in 6 months to pick a side. Her campaign declined to clarify whether the post referred to a literal dream or a hypothetical situation she hoped for. After publication, McMorrow's campaign reached out to clarify that it was an actual dream. In recent years, McMorrow has espoused more moderate views and has branded herself as a pragmatist in a crowded Democratic Senate primary that is shaping up to be among the more competitive races this year. McMorrow is locked in a dead heat against U.S. Representative Haley Stevens and Abdul El-Sayed, a former Detroit public health official. A spokesperson for McMorrow, Hannah Lindau, said the campaign deleted all of her tweets prior to 2020, describing it as pretty standard for candidates. She said that McMorrow's move from California to Michigan was a process that was not complete until mid-2016, and that she remained registered to California during that time, and that she voted absentee in June 2016. Lindau said McMorrow considers 2014 the start of that move. These are normal tweets by a normal person, said Lindau. It's not wrong. McMorrow's communications director, as Michigan Senate Majority Whip, Mallory has spent the past 8 years fighting and delivering to make people's lives better: higher wages, universal pre-K, no kid going hungry in schools, comprehensive gun violence prevention laws, and more. And she's tweeted about that too. McMorrow's campaign declined to say which positions she did and did not stand by, other than to say she stood by a comment lamenting the Michigan weather. Michigan Senate race is one of the most important in the country in determining control of the chamber. It's one of the only 2 seats in 2026 held by Democrats in states Trump won in 2024, other than being Georgia. The Democrats becoming more bullish about our chances to retake the Senate in this year's midterms. The Michigan primary scheduled for August is shaping up to be a critical race. McMorrow is not the only Democrat in the race who has deleted social media posts. Last year, CNN reported El-Sayed quietly erased thousands of old social media posts, including a dozen tweets that championed the defund the police movement, described police as standing armies, and urged cities to divert money from law enforcement to social services. Of course, ironically, that's still something that Abdul El-Sayed continuously promotes. In his commentary, he literally will say, like, we have to take money away from ICE, that ICE is a standing occupational force, an occupying force on American cities, things of that nature. So it's not that far off. Archive snapshots preserved by the Internet Archive's Wayback Machine show that in 2022, McMorrow's X account contained more than 20,000 tweets. Now the account shows 13,900 tweets. Her deleted posts appear to have been removed after a 2025 New York Post story first highlighted McMorrow's disparaging remarks about Michigan and Middle America after Trump's election in 2016, with several of the posts cited in that report no longer accessible online, including one praising a thread arguing that rural Americans, not coastal elites, needed to better understand the rest of the country. See, this is the juicy stuff. I still think it's like, whatever. It's funny that like she's such a loser in some respects that like even her controversy is like low-level loser shit. Like she is so we looked back at this candidate's profile and found out that she said her favorite ice cream flavor is vanilla and people who like chocolate ice cream are stupid, It's funny. It's so boring. She's so fucking sauceless. Oh my Lord. In one tweet in January 2017, when a user wrote, California should have his own diplomats to make sure we don't get nuked because of morons from the other side of the country, McMorrow responded, there are days like these that make me miss California even more. In announcing her Senate campaign in 2017, McMorrow struck a very different tone. Choosing to put roots down right here in Michigan is the best decision I've ever made, she wrote on her campaign website at the time. Her deleted posts span a wide range of topics. Some show McMorrow expressing lighthearted support for a future without cars, highlighting a white privilege seminar at her alma mater, University of Notre Dame, and saying that a southern border wall would limit the flow of avocados into the United States. Pushing for a future where we don't own cars. Cars are dead, she joked in one thread. What about all the avocados from Mexico? If that wall gets built by avocados, she said in another, I'm particularly proud of my alma mater, Notre Dame, for offering a white privilege seminar. Mallory started her career as a car designer and doesn't want to ban cars. She's been repeatedly endorsed by auto unions, a spokesperson told CNN. Some of the deleted posts could prove politically sensitive in a state that Trump has carried twice, where auto manufacturing in rural communities are central to the political landscape. Multiple deleted posts from McMorrow also had comparisons between the United States under Trump and Nazi Germany. Again, these are not bad posts, right? I fucking agree with these posts. Just over a week into Trump's first term in January 2017, McMorrow wrote, Dr. Seuss, 1941, we've been here before. America, hashtag America first, hashtag no Muslim ban. Linking, by the way, yeah, she deleted this because she's like, the Muslim ban had some good ideas. McMorrow now is like, maybe we should ban some of these fucking Muslims, specifically ones that came here and gave birth to my opponent, Abdul El Sayed. Anyway, when another user wrote in July 2017 that they had zero faith that they could change the minds of Trump supporters, McMorrow responded, agreed. But how do we fight back? Hitler had supporters. Stalin had supporters. Putin has supporters. No one will change their minds. In another post in October 2020, McMorrow shared a video featuring a Holocaust survivor warning about parallels between Nazi Germany and Trump's authoritarian aspirations. McMorrow added, please watch the full 4-minute mini doc that a dear friend created with Walter, a 91-year-old Holocaust survivor, warning about the parallels he sees between the rise of Nazi Germany and America today. Another tweet from February 2016. Hold on. Another tweet from February 2016, shortly after the death of Supreme Court Justice Anthony Scalia, said, thoughts after Scalia on life. Never be the type of person that makes people cheer when you're dead. Other posts are more ambivalent about Michigan. In a deleted tweet from November 2016, responding to another user's comment about the diversity in a Detroit diner, McMorrow wrote that one of her first reactions after Trump's election victory was, I wish I never left California, before adding that after a week in Detroit, she wanted to buy a home there. In another post from March 2016, shortly after she moved to the state, McMorrow complained about the weather, writing, yesterday it was nearly 50, and now this guy is just shitting ice on everything. I don't like you, Michigan. Okay. It's very funny because, these are normal takes. These are very vanilla, very milquetoast takes. Though McMorrow's book tags her move happening in 2014. In a 2015 interview, McMorrow says she moved in 2015. Instagram post on her personal turn campaign. Instagram shows she listed her Los Angeles area apartment being vacated in March 2016. It's unclear why she would continue to vote in California after establishing residency in Michigan. Under California law, only state residents are eligible to vote in California elections. In 2024, McMorrow chastised a Twitter user who said they voted in a state they no longer lived in. Oh my God. When in a spat, a voter who moved to California but still voted in Michigan, writing, so you moved to work and live in California but register somewhere you no longer live? That's illegal. That's funny. Which Michigander like the Michigan weatherman? We hate it. Yeah, it's ass. Bobby Hill came in hot, by the way. Haley Stevens now lighting up McMorrow over CNN scoop on her past comments. I'm born and raised Michigander and damn proud of it. I love everything that makes us Michiganders, from our manufacturing heritage to our lakes and, yep, even our accent. That's why I have pretty thick skin about people making fun of the way I talk or the clothes I wear, because this campaign isn't about me. It's about the amazing people who live in this state. About them having a real champion in the Senate. So what actually ticks me off? Someone who wants that job representing Michiganders talking crap about us in our state. I'm not going to lie. Haley Stevens' social media team has made me kind of like Haley Stevens a little bit. It worked on me because I saw her posts about someone dunking on her clothes. And this is actually bars. Sarah Gallagher, NRIC, BOGO jean jackets, buy one, get one 50% off. Okay. On all jean jackets for the family. She said Old Navy, she dresses in Old Navy. She goes, I'm the only non-millionaire in this race. And like most Michigan families struggling in Donald Trump's economy, you're darn right I love a BOGO. I mean, she's a APAC demon, right? But this is kind of humanizing, I'll be honest. And then there was another one. This is Nate Blanchett. Said leftists need to cope and seethe. The voters of Michigan want a mouthy broad who sounds like turn of the century Bobby Hill. To which she replied with, proud mouthy Michigan broad since 1983. Oh, it's so funny that she saw that post and retweeted it. She does sound like Bobby Hill. Oh, man. Yeah, Abdul El Sayed had a response to this, said, born in Michigan, hallelujah. Raised in Michigan, hallelujah. Believe cars should exist, hallelujah. Haley Stevens claims to be hitting the ground running.
United States Senator who is going to hit the ground running.
Thank you, Grand Rapids. Thank you, Phil Skaggs. And thank you, Mayor David LeGrand. I got to say, you guys have brought the heat here to progressives in the park.
There was no one at that event. It was so funny. There was literally no one at that event. The only people that were at the event were people who were, what are they called? Like tracers or something? The people that just like follow campaigns around. There was like 4 people and they were all working for different media outlets. Trackers, I think. Is that what it's called? No, not even her mom. It's fucking hilarious. Event was the opposite size of our AIPAC donations? Yeah. God dang it, Bobby. Stop supporting genocide in god dang Palestine, Bobby. That boy ain't right. I'm a simple man who sells propane and propane accessories. And I can't stand when my son Bobby Hill is getting millions of dollars from AIPAC. She gives Maya poet? Oh no. True. All right. What else was I going to say about this? Okay, but Hank did work in Saudi Arabia? Yeah, exactly. All right. Pete Hegseth. Democrats are the biggest adversary in the Iran war. Yeah, not Democrats are the biggest adversary in the Iran war, not Iran. Interesting.
Unlike other president has had the courage to ensure Iran never gets a nuclear weapon, and he's ironclad in that. We have the best negotiator in the world driving that deal. The biggest challenge.
Piker called the resolution a cynical ploy to satisfy donors by its sponsors. Yep, I did say that. I did give a quote to JTA, even though they cooked me last time I had a fucking 2-hour conversation with them. Reps Mike Lawler and Josh Gottheimer are introducing a new bipartisan House resolution condemning left extremist Hasan Piker and far-right podcaster Candace Owens for spreading anti-Semitism. Piker condemned the move in a statement to the Jewish Telegraphic Agency, saying that the congressmen were making anti-Semitism worse, an allegation he has leveled frequently against anti-Semitism watchdogs who have criticized them. They are once again conflating legitimate critics of Israel with actual anti-Semites, Piker said. They would rather complain about fake anti-Semitism in defense of Israel than call out the real sources of Jew hatred with a full chest. I've spent my entire career combating all forms of bigotry, including anti-Semitism, and will continue to do so in spite of this cynical ploy to satisfy donors. I think that's a pretty solid quote, right? The resolution by Lawler, a New York Republican, and Gottheimer, a New Jersey Democrat, states that it is condemning anti-Semitic hate-filled rhetoric and content disseminated by prominent online personalities, urging social media platforms and public leaders to denounce and address such conduct. Early draft language was published by Jewish Insider. It states that Piker has often used anti-Semitic rhetoric, blah, 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 blah. Piker has lately made inroads with prominent Democrats, even as his rhetoric, including stating Hamas 1,000 times better than Israel, has concerned many Jews. He recently told JTA he believes he's fighting, not spreading anti-Semitism, and argued that he's giving a voice to Jews on the left who agree with his perspective. It's true. I am doing that. The pundit, a leading anti-Israel figure on the right, has pushed back theories that Israel is beyond the assassination of Charlie Kirk and has also promoted broader negative commentary about Judaism and Jewish figures. Owens did not immediately return a JTA request for comment. Yeah. Statements from both personalities of resolution states are dangerous and contribute to a climate of hatred and intolerance. There have been several congressional resolutions condemning specific figures of anti-Semitism in the recent years. Last year, Senate Democrats led by Jewish minority leader Chuck Schumer introduced a resolution condemning far-right white supremacist Nick Fuentes along with Tucker Carlson, who had interviewed him. That resolution remains in committee. There have also been measures to censure Democratic reps Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar. Interesting. And former GOP Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene for anti-Semitic rhetoric. A 2018 resolution also aimed to condemn Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan. Waiting for the Candace Owens video to say you're worse than her. Yeah, she's going to be like, Hasan is an infinitely worse actor in this space. And then Jake Tapper's going to have Candace Owens on to be like, Candace, I know you and I don't agree on much, but on the issue of Hasan's anti-Semitism being far worse than your anti-Semitism, we are in agreement. And thank you for coming on the broadcast. I am, of course, going to align with you. Yes, Brigitte Macron may have been a man. Who knows? I'm Jake Tapper. And as long as you're shitting on Muslims, I'll be there right by your fucking side. She's expected to go live in 40. Oh, here we go. She's going to say, I am responsible for Charlie Kirk's assassination now. She's going to somehow tie it back to that. Anyway, this was the double Hasans having a convo about, you know, where I was at.
What's going on with that? Because didn't they want a Joe Rogan for the left? They kept saying that.
Kept saying it, but they didn't mean it, Hasan. And they, it's hilarious.
Yeah, why is it a lititmus test?
It's hilarious to see what they
Because I'm here
Hasan.
for the b-ball and the weightlifting. I was trying to deadlift with my Turkish brother. I was trying to.
Can you keep up with Hasan?
No. But it'd be cool to have him as a spot. Him to spot me. That'd be cool.
Would you stand in a photo with him?
I've stood in a photo with him.
He's super tall.
Very tall. And my man is built.
He's built. It's a good ad for the Muslim community. I don't think he really identifies very much, but as a brown man, he's a good ad.
Yeah.
It's insane what they
Fox
made
and
him.
Friends says he's handsome.
Jessica Tarlov said it's objectively true that he's good looking.
Objectively true.
On Fox, they said that about Hasan Piker.
He's objectively handsome. Look at the New York Times profile of him. I mean, he is...
Of course.
My queen.
I'm gonna take a hard pass on it.
To make him into this boogeyman, we have a war, illegal war in Iran, where we're massacring schoolgirls, threatening the end of civilization. You have the Israelis massacring people in Beirut. You have prices at home sky high. And on top, you have ICE rounding up American citizens. CNN is doing multiple segments on Hasan Piker. Like, what is going on here? The media's broken, I know, but come on. It's the Mitt Romney TikTok moment. We can't out-debate these people. We can't beat them with facts and figures, so we must silence them. We must ostracize them. And by the way, all these Democrats who were asked recently, like Cory Booker, and listen, would you go on Hasan Piker's stream? Hasan had a great response. I didn't even invite you. But I would say to them, oh no, we wouldn't go on their stream. They go on Bill Maher. Bill Maher said openly racist things about Muslims, about black people, horrifically misogynistic things.
Nice tie. When can Chatters expect to collab with Gentleman's Gazette? Excuse me. My sartorial choices have been on point as of late, and I think you guys have recognized that. Okay? I hope you guys have recognized it.
You all go on Bill Maher. Like, the double standard is just so brazen. People can see through this bullshit now. It's 2026. The old ways don't work.
You want to get spicier?
Sure.
Okay, let's talk about Iran. Right now, there's 3.
Spice level would kill a white person instantly. Okay. Bro's into suits now. Finally, HasanAbi 35 is the 35 years is the magic number. I'm not going to lie, the tie is giving bipartisanship defender. Yes. In the interest of bipartisanship, I've chosen to condemn Hasan. Okay? Condemn HasanAbi, condemn HamasAbi. In the interest of bipartisanship, as my tie suggests, I am condemning myself. This is the final. This is the final goal, okay? I am condemning myself. It is very fucked up that I exist. Hasan Piker has openly applauded Hamas terrorism, downplayed mass rape of civilians on October 7th, and dehumanized Orthodox Jews to inbreak. Candace Owens has trafficked and vile conspiracy theories, promoted blood libels, platform Holocaust deniers with aunties of millions. They have responsibility to confront hatred and bigotry in every form, not to amplify it to the masses. So if they won't call it out, I will. Is this your tie? Okay, dude. I don't see the hat, but it seems like these shadows have forgotten that you're an apolitical streamer. I know. I should have brought my hat with me. Collab with that Derek guy when? Yeah. Gas prices skyrocketed. 14 service members are dead. And Secretary of War doesn't know how much the war in Iran is costing Americans, but the House is voting on a resolution to condemn Hasan Piker.